Hello children, in this video we're going to be looking into inserting audio into the presentation. For that I'm going to go into the insert tab. On the insert tab I'm going to click on audio. When I click on audio here we have two options. One is you can insert an audio from the PC or you can record an audio. First we're going to look into inserting an audio from the PC. When I click on audio on the PC, I'm going to choose the audio which is present here. So let's click on this and say insert. So when I do this, you see that the music file is inserted, the MP3 is inserted. Now I click on the play button. So this has got a music for about 3 minutes. So here when I insert the audio file and I do a slideshow, I can click on the music to start the audio. Now when I click on the next button, that is when I go to the next slide, the audio stops. So now I would like, if I would want to add this audio on all the slides, I would click on the audio file here which is inserted and then go into the format tab which you see here, with which I can make changes to the picture and of the icon and other things. Let's go into the playback tab. When I click on the playback tab here, like we had seen for the video, we can trim the audio. That is, I can click on trim audio and resize the length of the audio and then click OK. Now I wouldn't be resizing it. I want the entire length of the audio. I'm going to click on OK here or cancel. Then we have the fade in, fade out, which we'll be exploring in a little while. Let's look into the ribbon here which says audio options. When I click on audio options here, the first one is start. It says in click sequence, that is when the slideshow is done. It's going to go when you click, or it says automatically, which when selected, and when I do a slideshow, the audio is going to start automatically. The next option here is when clicked. So when I say when clicked, when I choose the option when clicked and do a slideshow, it's going to start when I click on this button. Otherwise it wouldn't start. Now going back here, when I choose the option here in click sequence and I do the slideshow, when I do the slideshow it doesn't start, but it's going to start when I click on the slide or when I use the next arrow. Now this is going to play only on the slide. When I click on the next button here, the music stops. What if I want the audio to be played on all the slides? We have an option here under the playback which says play across slides. When I click on play across slides and I do a slideshow from the beginning and start the music. Now when I click on the next button or when I go on to the next slide, the music still plays until the last slide. Now coming down to the first slide where we have inserted the audio, and when we click on the music file and go into the playback, it says here loop until stop. That is, if the audio is for 3 minutes 37 seconds that we see over here, and if I say loop until stopped, and if my slideshow goes on for more than the time of the video, that is more than 3 minutes 37 seconds, or if my slideshow goes on for 5 minutes, what's going to happen is the music is going to get into the loop cycle and keep playing again and again until the slideshow is over. And the next option here is called as the hide during show. When I click on the checkbox here and do a slideshow, you see that the music icon is no longer present, but when I click on the next button, the music does play, and I can go into the next slide and the music keeps playing until the last slide. Now that was about hide during show. Now we have the last option here which says rewind after playing. That also means the same thing, that is, it's going to go back to the beginning once the audio is played. That is, when I do a slideshow here, and if the audio is longer, if the slideshow is longer than the audio, then the entire music gets repeated again and again. So now going back to the playback, okay, so these are some of the options when the audio is inserted from the PC. Let's go into the next option here which says under the insert tab, wherein we have the option which says record audio. So when we do a record audio, let's go into the slide which has got the tiger here. When I click on audio and I say record audio, here we get a pop-up window which goes the red button which is for the record, the square button is for stop, and the play button is represented as a right side turned triangle. So now I'm going to be clicking on the record button. When I click on the record button, the recording starts. So let's click. Tiger is a majestic animal. I clicked on the square button to stop it. Now let's hear the sound that has been recorded.
Tiger is a majestic animal.
Okay, so I'm okay with the sound that's been recorded. So now when I click on the OK button, the audio get inserted here, if you can see. In the same way, I can go into the playback and say hide during show, and then I can say in click sequence. That is, when we come down to the slide, and only then we can play this audio. So let's go into the first slide and go into slideshow, say from beginning. Let's go click on the next button.
Tiger is a majestic animal.
So you just now heard that. When we come down to the tiger slide, we can play the audio which was recorded. So similarly, you can record it on the different slides and play it along with the background music on each and every slide. So that's all about inserting an audio and also recording an audio onto a slide. Keep learning, keep exploring.